What up, peeps? Welcome back to the flip side. It's been a long time since I made anything Mortal Kombat related. Ever since Mortal Kombat 1 started dying off, I just can't do it anymore with the new stuff. But I have been keeping up with the development of the Legacy Collection, and now that it's out, you know what? I like it. It's got its issues, but I believe that it's going to be fixed. And if they do fix it and there's still a little bit of problems, then it is what it is. At least we got a bunch of fan favorite games that we grew up with, that I grew up with personally. And I'm going to get into them real quick. So, I like most of these. Some of these are just here for nostalgic garbage. Alright? I played all these multiple times. I played them all just today. I didn't complete them all because I'm not I'm not that good. But I played through a little bit of each one and I want to just share my opinion. So, number one, straight off the bat, I'm just going to get through the arcades real quick. The arcade ports. Uh, boom, 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 and boom. Yep. And I don't see Mortal Kombat Trilogy on here. I don't know where Mortal Kombat Trilogy is. Hey, we're going to go ahead and yeah, I'm not seeing it on here. We're going to go ahead and fix that real quick. Watch this. And we're back. I got it right here. You know what? I'm going to put it in S tier. Okay. So starting off with Mortal Kombat 1, the original on the arcade. Um and let's go ahead and put the Genesis one up here too. I beat this game as a kid. I was given a Sega Genesis as a kid, and it had the original Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 on there. I beat the first one on the Sega Genesis. That's a badge I have for myself. Um, and the original cast, you got Raiden, Liu Kang, Scorpion, all the originals. You know, um, it's got okay music. It's got cool characters. You know, the fatalities are simple but effective. They make you really want to do them over and over again. It's a good game. I like the art style. You know how they did it. The live action video capture. Stuff like that. Um, I like it. But it's not as good as the S tier ones. And what's holding it back is the fact that it's just so hard. But if you thought that was bad, Mortal Kombat 2 has a even more brutal AI. All right? Just straight up input reading garbage. But I will give it props. Everything about MK1 was improved in MK2. We have more characters, fan favorites like Reptile, Katana, Melina, Baraka, Kung Lao, Shang Tsung, who's returning as a playable character. Um, yeah. And, it's just cooler. They have more fatalities, more stage fatalities. We have more moves. And yeah, that's really about it. It just looks better too. So, but again, it Mortal Kombat 3, you know, Vanilla, Ultimate, and Trilogy, they just do it so much better. Uh, so Vanilla Mortal Kombat 3, no rain, no smoke. Well, I don't know, depending on things. No Ermac, no rain. Did I say that? Just very limited characters, right? It's just a weird roster. We don't even have Raiden. We don't have Scorpion. What kind of game doesn't have Scorpion? No Raiden. I said that. Um, just weird. We've got a couple of the cyborgs, and we have Cabal, and we have Kung Lao at least, and Kano, and um, Sonya, and Jax, um, and Nightwolf. I mean, they're cool characters, right? They're really cool. It's just we're missing some key characters here. Reptile. Where's Reptile? Where's Baraka? Where's Melina or Katana? Right? I don't know. They're just not here. But they have improved on everything that Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 was. There's more moves, because there's also console improvements, right? We have a better console, right? And I'll get to that when I get to the home console ports. But there's more buttons, I should say, more moves, more fatalities. We've got different kinds of fatalities like brutality, babality. You can turn your opponent into a baby. Um, Brutalities, animalities, just cool stuff like that, you know. And then, um, oh, of course, and Shao Kahn and Motaro are just brutal final bosses, but it feels good when you beat them. It really does. The only games that I've beat are Mortal Kombat 1 for the Sega Genesis, and I think Mortal Kombat on the Game Gear. I did this, what, a few nights ago. You know, it was easier than the original game. I'll give them that. But we'll get to the handheld ports. And then you got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which just has all of our original characters plus new secret characters, right? Everyone loves that. Um, yeah. So it's everything we kind of want in one game. And then you've got Mortal Kombat Trilogy. And it looks a little, it feels a little different, right? This is, you boot up the game. This feels different than Mortal Kombat 3. You've got you've got all the boss characters to play as, all the original characters from games 1, 2, and 3. And you can play as different versions of the characters. That's great. And you've got all the stages from all the games. Yeah. And along with just the great music and all the different fatalities, it's just a great experience overall. Oh yeah, and I have beat Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I I will say I played with Shao Kahn and I did play with Motaro. Let me tell you, it was easier with Motaro than it was with Shao Kahn. Let me tell you, beating Shao Kahn with Shao Kahn required you to do non-stop knee attack. You couldn't even give, you didn't even get a chance. You just had to keep doing that. The same move over and over and over again. You know how hard that was? That took me 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes with save states to beat Shao Kahn. And it took me like half that with Motaro. But anyway, moving on from the arcade games, there might be some stuff I'm missing. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, or I'll put it in the comments myself. Let's go into the Game Boy. You know, Mortal Kombat for for Game Boy. I might just be a sucker for Game Boy, but it's not ultimate nostalgia trash. I tried it. It's bearable. I'll give it that. It's bearable. However, I wouldn't go back and replay it. Honestly, I didn't even beat it. Like I got bored. I was like, this is just it just after a while it doesn't even get fun. It's slower and it there's just less moves, right? Because it's on the two button Game Boy. But it's weird. I guess the select on the Game Boy would be, I mean the block would be the select button, or no, it's A and B. You gotta hold A and B. But it's weird. It's just weird, and the fatalities are just they're barely present in the game, right? Like Kano can do a freaking he can do the the heart fatality where he pulls your heart out, and there's nothing in his hand, stuff like that. So it's not complete trash. It's better than some of the other handhelds. I'll give them that. But moving on. Oh my, yeah. And then we've got the Game Gear. It's better. You know what? It is better than the Game Boy, but it's not as good as the Genesis. Come on. The Genesis, it's just lower quality than the original arcade. It's got just, I wouldn't say worse, just lower quality music and just effects and everything. Just it doesn't look as good as the original arcades. So yeah, it's just a toned down version of the originals, and it's still good. I put it in B tier. It's a mid game, but Mortal Kombat for the Game Gear. First of all, it's a lot more colorful. It's a lot faster. The fatalities are the fatalities. There's nothing weird about them. You've got all the original characters, and you know what? It's easier. It's an easier game than the Genesis and the arcades. Or I should say the arcade port. Yeah, if you want the strat to beat Goro, I'll give it to you in the comments section. But you gotta ask for it. Alright, moving on to... Oh my goodness. Yeah, Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. You know, it's not as good as the original arcade game. And, you know, I am going to say I like the Genesis a lot better than I like the NES. It's just, imagine the lower quality on the Genesis, and then half that quality on the Super Nintendo. Did I say NES? I'm going to say Super Nintendo from now on. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you have all your characters, all your stages, all your music. It's even lower quality than the Sega Genesis. So it's still mid-tier. It's acceptable, you know, it is acceptable. All right, and then moving on to Mortal Kombat 2. And, oh, what the hell? Yeah, okay, so we have the original Genesis, which I'm going to put in here. And then I'm also just going to put, the Genesis, the 32X one on here too. I'm going to put it in front of the original Sega Genesis. These are going to be ordered. My tier lists are not usually like ordered by like they're not usually ordered, but I am going to order them now. Let's see. Trilogy. I'm going to put in the best of the best, right? We got then Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3, Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, and Vanilla 3, and we got 2 in front of 1, and okay, so, and then we got the Game Gear in front of the Game Boy. So anyway, let's get back to the MK2 Genesis ports. Okay, so it's basically the same shit, right? Mortal Kombat 2, but reduced quality onto a home console. But they improved the performance of the Sega port, and it's just better. That's the version that I have on my Sega Genesis. I got the one that you got from Family Dollar. It had all the games loaded on there. So, yeah, because I booted up the original Genesis, and I was like, I don't remember this one. and then you put in the Genesis port for 32X, and it's just much better. I grew up with that one. I actually preferred I actually prefer Mortal Kombat 2 over MK1. So, and then oh my goodness, MK2. I'm going to put it in C tier. It's not totally bad. I mean, really. It's the same shit as MK1 on the Game Boy. I mean, really. It's much better. It's much better than MK1. A lot smoother, and yeah, it just plays better, better music. You've got all the cool characters on there from MK2. And then moving on to, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just going to put the Super Nintendo at the bottom of B because so far, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just not as good as the Genesis ports. Everything I say about the Genesis, it's just lower quality in the Super Nintendo. I keep saying NES. Stop it. All right. And then we've got Vanilla 3 on Genesis. B tier. We're moving through here. I'm just fixing it real quick. I'm just fixing it real quick. Okay. All right. And then we've got, what is that, 4? We're not going to do that. And then Ultimate for NES. Boom, right there. And then, okay, so let's get into Mortal Kombat 4. You know, it's going to go, for me, I know, I got to create a whole new tier. I'm gonna add a row below, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I like it. Like I'm putting this in the here. This is just B. This is just B2. All right? Because I can't put this on the same tier as the 2D classics. It's just feels different. I mean, obviously, we've got better graphics. You know, it's a bigger game. It's the stage is moving, right? I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Reiko is weird. Tanya, I know Tanya is kind of a fan favorite, but it just doesn't hit for everything that Mortal Kombat 4 tries to be. It just turns out to be a goofy, like, polygon fighter game. The fatalities are goofy. The voice acting is goofy. And you know, for Mortal Kombat 4 being what it is, it sucks that the Legacy Collection didn't add the ending cutscenes. That would have been nice, but I just can't. Like some parts, the sound quality is a little iffy, like on Raiden's stage. I don't know. There's just some characters that are weird. Like Kai never went anywhere. Reiko is weird. Reptile has the worst character design in the series. He's this green, bald dude with like a tan mouth, and he's got a purple suit. It's just weird. And then we've got Shinnok, who we've seen better versions in Mortal Kombat X. This Shinnok just looks goofy. This pale dude with green eyes. He's got a red crown. He doesn't have any moves. All he does is like steal moves. And then, I mean, Fujin's cool. Oh yeah, and then Jarek, who is literally just a almost a carbon copy of Kano. Should have just had Kano in the damn game. Who else? That's pretty much it. Nobody's really cool in that game. Everyone's goofy and just they don't feel the same. And so I gotta put it in just a different B, because it's sure as hell is not as good as A tier, and it's not worse than the Super Nintendo or Genesis ports of all the 2D games. So it is what it is. All right, MKA or Mortal Kombat Advance. This is a garbage fucking game. And you know what? We're gonna put this in here too. I'm just starting to realize it's a fucking garbage game. It tries to be it tries to be Mortal Kombat 3, but of course, since it's on the Game Boy Advance, the graphics are weaker and and it feels weird to play. Like to do sweep, you gotta hold down and back and the kick button, and then it's just slow. Like you gotta it, it's just it feels like it's playing underwater. It's such a slow game. It's almost painful and not enjoyable. Granted, it's got all the cool characters in it: Cyber Smoke, Ermac, Noob, Cybot, all the fan favorite original trilogy characters. Execution for this game was just abominable. No way it's ever escaping the bottom tier. Okay, so let's get into the Mortal Kombat 5 and a little bit of deception ports. All right, for the 3D era. And they're all on the handhelds, which I'm hoping maybe we can get the original 3D era games for DLC, or maybe a second Legacy collection. If we fix the shit that's wrong with this game. But Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for Game Boy Advance. You know what? I'm going to put it in B tier. And it's definitely, you know what? It's just different. Like it's going to go in the same tier with Mortal Kombat 4. I like them. You know, I like what they tried to do. You've got most of the original roster from Deadly Alliance, and you've got a little bit. You've even got a little bit from Armageddon in Tournament Edition. You've got Serena. You've got Sector. You even have Noob Saibot. But here's where these games, and they're almost exactly alike. And I'll add, what I do like about these games is that you get to create your own profile. And so that's kind of like a save data, right? You gotta save it in the Legacy collection. But you go back into your saved game. You've got your profile loaded. You're earning coins, and you can go into the crypt and get rewards for characters. I don't even know what they are, because I never even played these games long enough to even care, because they're just not as good. Like, they just don't. I guess if you grew up playing the Game Boy Advance and you had these games, then you sunk your time into them. But I'm not sinking my time into shit with these games. All right? Either it's me, or there's no sort of combo system. I mean, maybe you can pull off like 3 or 4 hits, but other than that, it's like one button combination for one move. Very weird. And you know, for everything that the Game Boy Advance graphics are, the stage is still moving like it's a 3D game. It's good. Um, and you've got the original Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance music. It's it's shorter versions. It's not the complete songs. They're cut down. And, it is what it is. But that's really about it. They did a good job with the Mortal Kombat 5 and a little bit of deception. That's what I say. A little bit of deception. Because it's got some. And it's even got a little bit of Armageddon in it, too. From the characters. But I think that about wraps it up. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't recommend watching this on your TV or on your phone. Watch it while you're driving. There's really nothing to see here. But, and you can do that with a lot of my videos. I don't have an issue with that. But hope you guys enjoyed. And with all that said, I'll see you guys next time back on the flip side. Peace out.